Yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Oh, we shooting? My bad. Play the intro. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Rasta White. Today, I'm about to give y'all 5 tips on how to quit and stop overthinking. Because guess what? I almost overthought this video. I'm sitting here thinking about what I'm going to say and blah, blah, blah. Then I say, you know what? Man, start shooting, start rolling. How you going to speak it if you ain't living it, right? So, tip number 1. Yeah, we getting straight into it. Tip number 1. Like the intro just said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. That came from Kung Fu Panda for my Kung Fu Panda fans out there. But it's so real. That's what the OG Turtle said to Poe when he was stressing about not learning Kung Fu and blah, blah, blah. He pretty much let him know, like, yo, you need to stop overthinking about tomorrow and worrying about yesterday when you got right now to focus on. Today is a gift. And if you can get that ingrained into the way you think, the way you talk, and all that good stuff, you'll find yourself living more in the moment. And I'm telling y'all how to stop overthinking. I still get caught up in overthinking daily. Like every personality test I ever took, you know what the results was? You are a thinker. Period. It was never say you ambitious, you a dreamer. My other friends got all type of other stuff. You a social butterfly. For me, it said you are a thinker. So I decided to start studying more on how I can conquer it because overthinking can be bad. Thinking too much does more harm than good. Trust me, I have learned that several occasions. Being married, having family, having friends, everything I do in life that is simple, I would say, or that can be simple, overthinking has made it tough for me. So that's step number 1. Remind yourself that today is a gift. Tomorrow isn't promised. I don't know how many believers I got out there, but even in the Bible, it says that. I don't know the exact scripture, but it pretty much says just focus on today. Like God say, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Worry about just today. That's enough. That's enough stress. A lot of times when I'm depressed or you depressed as watching this or you anxious about what's going to happen next year, what's going to happen 2 years after that, is not promised. So why are we stressing about something that is not promised? And then we sit there and we make up stories that 9 times out of 10, guess what? It ain't gonna happen that way. Even your pessimistic thoughts ain't gonna happen that way. And guess what? A lot of your optimistic thoughts ain't even gonna happen that way. You could be overconfident, planning everything out perfectly. I'm guilty of that. Trying to have everything lined up perfectly. I'm guilty of that. You can ask my wife, you can ask my friends, you can ask anybody that know me. I sit there, I plan, I'm analytical, I overthinking, I do all of this and blah, 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 blah. I end up driving myself crazy. Okay. You can't control the future. 5 years from now, you don't know what it's going to look like. You can have an idea. I believe that. Yeah, still plan, still have a calendar, but don't obsess over it. I'm learning not to obsess over it. Look in the future. Okay, this is where I would like to be and take daily actions, focus on when today to get to that future that you see yourself having. Is my future exactly how I wanted it right now? No, but it is pretty close to what I wanted to be doing, living on my own, having my own car, having all my own stuff so I can live a certain type of lifestyle that I envision for myself. So that's just tip number 1. Now, tip number 2, when I'm be looking at my notes, because I ain't want to overthink this. I ain't want to sit here and try to memorize all of this. So we go into the notes. Tip number 2, do something you enjoy. I just mentioned that overthinking is a bad habit. And some bad habits that we have are not as bad as overthinking. Overthinking is one of the worst habits, I would say, through my experience in my life. So if you like playing video games, you like watching Netflix, if you like doing anything like that, it's okay to allow your mind to relax and go do something more relaxing for you. something that can calm you more, can have you not stressing, over analyzing everything. A lot of people would say, oh, you don't want to get your mind off of stuff, but sometimes your mind becomes so overactive that you got to find something to calm it. Even in Kung Fu Panda, on another Kung Fu Panda reference, he told him, your mind is like moving water. But he said, once you allow it to settle, the answer becomes clear. You got to do things sometimes and just take a walk, do something that gets your mind off of whatever it is you're stressing about and allow it to settle. So the answer you are seeking will become much clearer. Don't make decisions when you're upset, by the way. That's a bonus. Number 3, do something boring. Or recently I said do something fun, but you can do something boring. Do something boring and let your mind work itself out. What I mean by that, example of doing something boring is reading a book that you're not really interested in, going for a walk without your phone, going for a run, going to the gym with no headphones, right? We so accustomed to entertaining ourselves all day that we are not comfortable with boredom at all. Main reason too is because we don't like to think. Some of us run from thinking all the time. And Pete, I say overthinking can be hurtful, but not thinking at all can also be harmful. You got to find that balance. That's what I've been working on. You got to balance thinking with relaxing, having fun, and just enjoying yourself so you can be happy. Overthinking stop you from being happy. Also, not thinking. You ever, let me see, when you're a kid or whatever, you just always want to have fun. You don't really think about much. You don't really do stuff. And then when you get into adulthood, the world gets more and more cruel. So it's just like, man, I miss when I was a kid. I didn't have to worry about bills. I didn't have to worry about this. I didn't have to worry about that. But as an adult, that's something you got to learn to accept because when you try to just have fun and don't think about nothing, don't have no responsibility, a lot of people I know like that are usually depressed and they're sad. They're having a time of their life, but as soon as they sleep through the night, wake up in the morning, reality kicks back in like that. Don't escape reality. That's not the message I'm saying, to try to always escape reality. The thing is to accept your reality, enjoy it, but also find time to balance it out. Fun, work. Fun, work. And I'm not a master at this craft yet, but in the next few years, I'm sure I'll be to a level where I'm just not overthinking, not underthinking, and I have a balanced life. Okay? The next step, read self-help books. I got a few for y'all right now, so I did prepare that. I got a few for y'all right here that I want to show y'all that really changed the way I think, in a way, open my mind up to problems I didn't even know I had. You could think all day, oh, I'm a good person. I don't do nothing bad. I'm this, I'm that. But it be issues that we be having and don't realize it. We don't be realizing we have issues. The first book I'm going to show y'all is Stop Doing That Ish by Gary John Bishop. Now, disclaimer. I don't read this book really as much anymore. It's a lot of profanity in it. But it's straight to the point and he gets straight on you. Like, this is a book I literally seen somebody else reading, like, how I wonder what this book is about. Open the page. Like, I'm sure none of this applied to me. The first page was like, it like hit me in the ribs. Like, you do have issues, bro, that you need to work out. So I end up reading that whole book, and the information in that book is invaluable. Check that book out. The second book I got for y'all, Be Fearless by Jonathan Alpert. It's a lot of Be Fearless books out there. Make sure you get the one by Jonathan Alpert. Now, that book, I done read multiple times, front to back. I done did the exercises in that book. It talk about fearlessness. And a lot of your overthinking comes from fear. False evidence appearing real. So fear is imaginary. Fear is meant to protect us. It's meant to help us survive as humans. It's natural. There's nothing we can do about it. That book opened my mind to the idea that everyone feels fear. I used to think some people just was fearless. They go out, be confident, and they do things, and I gotta be scared every time I do something. And I wish I was like them, but that's not the case at all. We all are human. Beyonce still get nervous before she go on stage, I'm sure. All of that stuff happens that we don't realize these other people are going through because we get so caught up in here and in our own fears that we don't realize we live in a world where we all human and we all got fears, bro. You just got to figure out how to deal with them and use them to your advantage. That's what that book talk about. So check that one out. And the third and final book, I ain't gonna show y'all 1,000 books, is the most important book of them all, the Bible. The Bible literally, and I'm not just gonna act like I've been reading the Bible forever. This year I've really started getting into scriptures and all of that good stuff. And I started to realize a lot of the courses I took, a lot of books I read, the Bible done pretty much said almost everything. It talks about focus on today and not tomorrow. It talks about financial stuff. It talks about relationships. It talks about marriage. It talks about friendships. It talks about not overthinking. It talks about for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love and of peace and of sound mind, but of power and of peace and of sound mind. Talk about all that stuff. Faith without works is dead. Like, yes, you can be faithful, but you still gotta work. You still gotta put the time in. You can't just sit there and pray and just hope everything's gonna be okay. God still requires you to work. So it talks about all those things. Check the Bible out. You can Google whatever it is you're going through, whatever you're overthinking. You can Google that topic about the Bible and you'll find a scripture in it. Whether you're a believer or not believer, it's some good information in the Bible. Okay. So that was that tip. Tip number 4, read self-help books. Tip number 5, write your thoughts out. Journaling? Yeah, journaling is part of it. But what I also mean is just start getting creative with, instead of organizing everything in your head, that's what I do. Setting goals in your head, that's what I used to do all the time. Write that stuff on paper. Not only does when you write it on paper, it creates more accountability for you, what it also does is it get it out your brain and you can think about other stuff. Take them thoughts out of your head and put it on paper. Jim Rohn said that. Write those thoughts out. Get them out your dome, journal, put it on paper. I can almost guarantee you, you might not stop overthinking completely, but that will help dramatically. So write those thoughts out. So that's pretty much all I got, 5 tips. But if you made it to this part of the video, I truly appreciate you. Please hit that like button, that comment button. Well, comment and subscribe, man. Come join my community where I want to help people spiritually, mentally, and financially. I'm 26 years old and I have an obsession. I mentioned that in my last video about finding your purpose. I have an obsession with just getting better, man, becoming a better man, becoming a better husband, becoming a better father to my daughter, just becoming a better son to my mom. Just I'm obsessed with just becoming better and following the path that God set before me. And for you staying up to this point, I got a bonus tip for you. Hold on, let me go get it. Talk to God, man. Talk to God. Overthink, driving in your car, whatever the case may be. Talk to God, man. He's a free therapist. It's a free therapist. Pray and just talk to him, man. It would just give you a sense of relief, one, and you just can tell him anything. You don't got to worry about no other human opinion because his understanding is above all of ours. There's certain things we just can't explain as humans, no matter how smart we get scientifically. I'm not bashing science because a lot of that stuff I'm into. I'm into astronomy and all of that good stuff. But God, I believe He is above all that we understand. So talk to God and listen to Him. Or if you're not a believer, you can just go see a therapist. I did therapy before too. Therapy is also great. Therapy is a good way to actually get a real life person talking to you, listening to you, and all that good stuff. So that's it today. I done ran out of breath talking. I appreciate y'all for watching. Rasta White. Stay tuned for more content like this. It's all about getting better mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and unleashing your inner hero. I'm out. Peace.